Right,
Have you been back?
apologies. We never
What?
got round to doing a little thing after the FA Cup final, mate. Have you got over the disappointment of losing an FA Cup for the third
I
time in a
have.
row?
I
Or
mean,
whatever?
I'm quite glad we didn't actually do one at the time because, yeah, I was a little bit irritated. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, yeah, to get to two finals and lose them on penalties, especially to the same team, is just gutting. Man. I
Yeah,
mean, even if it wasn't the same team, just to lose two finals on penalties is shit. And there's, I don't know, penalties. It just feels as well, penalties. Like I like them, and when it's not my team, obviously. But penalties just feels like such a 50-50 that it's just sort of kick in the teeth that, especially when it's a 0-0, you watch 120 minutes and then it goes down to basically 10 tosses of a coin.
yeah,
I know it's all about skill of putting it in, but still, it's just like after all these like rounds and in a Champions League, like group stages and all that, going down to that is just madness. Do you know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
like madness.
It just doesn't
But
feel right. Especially, I mean, like it's great when your team wins, but it's an awful way to lose. And
yeah.
as a neutral, like watching like the Europa League final, like Rangers, to be like searching for silverware and like for however many years and to lose from one spot kick, it's
Yeah, I think
so
that's the
hard.
thing. To lose on penalties, it doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a proper loss. So it's harder to take
Yeah,
because you can lose on penalties and have played really well in the game. I mean, we had loads of chances in that cup final and we had loads of chances in the Carabao Cup final. And there were times in both games where both teams were better. You know, in the FA Cup final, Liverpool started really well and it could have, like, barnstormed us in 15 minutes.
yeah,
But then after that, we had a massive gap in the middle where we were really like the top team. And then Liverpool came again at the last sort of like 15 minutes.
yeah.
There was a bit of equal in it, but we had so many chances again. And it's just, yeah, so frustrating.
My enjoyment was kind of crazy of the FA Cup final because I watched the first half on my phone and then went to a 3 hour Punch Drunk performance,
Yeah.
immersive theatre. So, and there you had to put your phone in a pouch and they sealed it. So I didn't know the result for the whole time walking around that performance.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was.
Did Alice enjoy it? I know she wasn't like overly.
She was
saying it's
skeptical.
her thing.
Yeah, it's not really her thing, but she did actually enjoy it. Yeah, she would recommend it.
That's good.
It was different to the one that I've been to before, but a lot of the devices were the same. So all the audience were wearing the same mask. So all the audience wear like a white mask, and then the performers don't have any masks.
Is this like some sort of Eyes Wide Shut shit, Bragg?
Nah, it does feel a little bit weird. And then it's free roaming, so you walk around. They've created this world, and it's mind blowing what they create.
Did you all go off separately?
Me and Alice actually stayed together. Like we could, but my brother and Tanya went off. Like they separated. It was all right. Yeah, you could kind of stay together. It was fine.
Okay.
Really enjoyed it, but there was no dialogue. It was basically contemporary dance. It wasn't really kind of like there was no script to it. Basically,
Was there a script in the last one you went to?
yeah, there was like proper sort of scenes and like pieces of text and yeah.
Do you think it worked better with a dialogue or not?
It's different. Like it's different. This one hasn't stayed with me as much as the other one. Like I was thinking of the other one like days after. I'd be like, oh. Whereas this one, there were some really nice moments and amazing scenes, but I'm not thinking back to it, so it hasn't really.
Maybe if you were like more into dance, then this one would stick with you. Then I don't know.
I think maybe actually. I mean, don't get me. The performance, breathtaking. Like some of the performances were like phenomenal, like what they were doing. But I just, I don't know. It was great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It was great.
You're still away at the minute, then, I gather.
Yeah. Still, come back on Wednesday.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Is this an audition you've had, Rag?
No. I went to see
All right, Ras.
an immersive piece of theatre, mate. And I was just saying, so the FA Cup final, we didn't get to talk about it, but I saw the first half and then had to put my phone away, locked away in a bag, and then went round a theatre piece for 3 hours. So I didn't know the result, you know?
It's a shame, isn't it?
It's a shame. Bit of disappointments there. So do you want to talk about the Scottish Cup final? Do you want to get it out of the way?
Oh, yeah. There's nothing to say about it. Just really disappointing. Really disappointing. Yeah, this is why the management and stuff get the stick they get. Not because average results and average performances, like overall throughout the season or whatever. It's the big games that for some reason they bottle. And a game like that, it was like I wouldn't say never turned up. I think the first 20 minutes, the plan was to try and put a bit of pressure on Rangers and ping the ball about, get Rangers moving for it, and try and put them a bit under pressure. But didn't put them under that much pressure, and Rangers ended up just controlling the game, and it became a game of hearts. Had a wall at the back blocking everything, and then 90 minutes after 90 minutes extra time, Rangers, who played midweek the Europa League final, went to extra time penalties. They looked totally sharp, and Hearts looked fucked. And it was really disappointing because it's like, well, why are you all leggy? Why are you all fucked? Socks rolled down and stuff. It was really poor. Hearts never had a shot on target the whole game.
There was it not the whole game? No shot on target.
Never had a shot on target the whole game.
All right,
and they only had about 3 attempts at goal as well. It was just it was disappointing. I felt on paper. And the thing is, like, there's a reason Rangers got to Europa League final and stuff. Like, Rangers are a decent side and stuff, and they're a big club in Europe and all this, which they are, to be fair. And but on paper, I just felt that because the guys had played the whole 120 minutes midweek, they left a couple of guys out.
Yeah, I mean, Rangers was sort of there for the taking, right? Because they didn't play that well either, really.
Well, the thing is, they're saying that that's what folk are saying, but then some journalists and people like reporters and stuff saying that they think that's a bit kind of naive to say Rangers were there for taking. I said the same. I think they were, and I think they are, and I won't backtrack it. But they say like they said there was a few knocks to Rangers because the last few weeks over, and a couple of players out. So they had a couple of guys, not fringe players, but guys who hadn't played as much starting the game. It's like, but one of them is Amad Diallo, who Man United paid 19 million for 18 months ago. So it's not as if he's a mug. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's still a 19 million pound player coming in. So it's like, and Hearts at the moment don't have that kind of strength and depth. And it was just a bit disappointing. I just thought they would offered more, and I felt there's too many players, especially Miller Park, bottled it a little bit. This guy, Barry Mackay, he's been brilliant off all season for us. He's kind of tricky kind of winger, number 10, blah, blah, blah. Plays all over that kind of front three. He's been great, but for me, he used to play for Rangers. And anything that played Rangers this season, he's never been in the game. And I just wonder if it's a mental thing with him, where he's just kind of like, he's a mental block. Like he's like, I don't know what it is, but he doesn't turn up against Rangers. And apart from the fact we were defending all the time, boy, Ellis Sims up front, this whole second half was completely isolated. I mean, the Hearts never got the half the second half. He's standing up top doing nothing. They bring on a couple of subs to try and change it a little bit of pace, but made no difference. I think his Heart's tactics is get the ball to his boy Josh Gianelli, not Lion King, second half, because he's not a great player. I think he's crap, but he's got pace. He's very fast. So get the ball to him, make him run with it, get Hearts up the park a bit. But get the ball to him, and there's 3 Rangers players around him and no Hearts players. Hearts players are all puffing at the back. It's like, what a waste of time this is. What's going on? And you can't say it's been a long season. Well, it's been a long season for Rangers as well, and they just played a game midweek with 120 minutes in midweek in Spain. What are you doing? Like, it's just disappointing. Do you know what I mean? It's a letdown. But it's like, oh, we fell at final hurdle. Yeah, but you always fall. It's the third cup final in 4 years. 2 against Celtic, where I thought Celtic were there for taking both times. Went to penalties, got beat on penalties by Celtic a couple of years ago. And then, who was it last time? Can't remember. But, yeah.
Don't worry, Ras. Chelsea have lost 3 FA Cup finals in a row. So, similar.
Yeah. It's not great. But the thing is, Ras, I was going to say it to the other day, but I was too annoyed I couldn't be asked. But when he texted me, it's not as if I actually lose it, because it's like, yeah, he did well getting it, but it's like if it was a hard slog, it was a 50-50 match, it was 3-2 for somebody, it was one of those games. But when you kind of almost don't turn up, it's like, what are you doing? What have you put all that work in for to turn up to the cup final in front of all your fans?
I know.
Like everyone's scrambling for tickets to try and get there and sell out the place.
Well, the thing is, I know exactly that, because the Leicester game we barely turned up, but the Arsenal one the year before that, not at all. So it's just like, it's so frustrating when they do that. And I was saying to Rag, I mean, they're just as bad. I mean, to lose on penalties, play well and lose on penalties is still a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
But at least you can say they played well. And I know I was annoyed after the penalty shootout and I had to have a little walk around and whatever.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, you'd be more annoyed if they're just like, well, they didn't do anything. Because I get more annoyed when I'm watching Premier League games and they don't play well. Because it's just like, well, what's the point? Why have you bothered? What have you been doing all week?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Let's segue into the last day of the Premier League, because I don't know how you guys felt. Like I was absolutely gutted. Like it was a very strange time in terms of Wolves. Like, so from a Liverpool perspective, Wolves scored first. You're like, whoa, that's not in the script. Like, but in my mind, I was like, we're still going to beat Wolves. We're still going to beat Wolves. That's fine. But when Aston Villa went 2-0 up at City,
20 minutes to go. Yeah, I know.
20 minutes to go. I literally was, and it was 1-1 with Liverpool. I thought City could probably score twice. Yeah, they could draw, and they've still lost the league. Like it's unbelievable that they scored 3 in 5 minutes.
Do you know what weirdly?
Isn't that unbelievable in that game?
No, but I mean, they went 2-0 at a very early stage that second half. So there was never really. I mean, it was a bigger mountain, but there was never a part of me that thought it was over. I knew it wasn't over, because exactly what I thought could happen did happen, and it actually happened earlier than I thought it would. But as soon as that first one went in, 2-1, the crowd gets behind them. Like, they've got so many players they can bring on, and
do you think
it was a great chance, and it made it more entertaining, and it did look like Liverpool could win it at one point. But after that second goal, Villa did not get a sniff in that game.
Do you think, right, and it's great looking back with hindsight, if Liverpool had gone 2-1 up and City was still 2-0 down, do you think that would have had any impact? Like, because, you know...
On who? Man City players?
On Man City,
it would have had an impact on...
They wouldn't have known.
It would have had an impact on the crowd.
The fans would have gone quiet. They'd have really thought it's ebbing away from them, wouldn't it? You know? I don't know. Maybe if Liverpool...
But there's a way of thinking that could have jeered them on more, like... Do you know what I mean?
Man City, it's one of those teams, like, there's not many of them that I wasn't that surprised. I was like, even if it was 5 minutes ago, still 2-0 then, I would think to myself, I wouldn't be surprised Man City still won this.
Yeah.
Because they've got that kind of calibre. Like even if they don't turn up, they've not had a great game the whole game. But if everyone gives 5 minutes of class, of world class, they will blow people away. And it's I mean, it was amazing ending. I mean, it was amazing. It would have been even a more amazing if Man City had lost at Liverpool, won the league.
Exactly.
It would have been unbelievable. And Gerrard being Aston Villa manager as well.
Yeah.
Coutinho scoring all those subplots. It would have been been something. I think it was a brilliant end. In January, Liverpool were 14 points off City. So to get within 1 point, they've had,
mad.
They've gone unbeaten at home the whole season. They've played really, really well. Yeah. I listened back to our predictions.
Here we go.
I just wonder, do you remember your predictions for top 4?
Nah.
Everton,
you can remember?
No, I think it's Man City, Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea. I think I said.
I think I may have tipped Man United to win the league, didn't I?
We all said the same 4 teams, but we all said them in different orders. However, both Michael Felton and John Berry tipped Manchester United to win the Premier League.
Yeah, I
thought How mad's that?
And Everton second.
No. We all said Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. So, Michael, you went Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool.
Wow.
John went Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. I went Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Chelsea.
Wow. None of us got anything there.
No.
I think we can all say that we had high hopes for Man United this season, and how wrong were we?
I know. Well, the thing is, you forget, finishing second last season.
Last season they ended that last season really well. Bruno Fernandes was like on fire, which didn't happen this year. Yeah. But they just all the wheels just fell off completely for them, man.
Yeah,
really did.
No one picked Spurs to get in there, but at that point we did not know that Antonio Conte was going to be there, and you can never write him off. He's done an amazing job to get them fourth.
Yeah,
from where they were.
He really has. Yeah. One of the funniest things John said was that I said Liverpool would have the best defense of the season, and John said, "No way, Virgil van Dijk is finished."
I never said that. Did I?
Yes, you did, mate. You said he's not coming back from his cruciate injury. He's finished. His cruciate ligament. Shut up.
Where he was doing a version of Hello Dolly and he broke it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Barbara van Dijk.
Yeah. You did your usual thing. You went through. You said Andy Robertson, he's crap. Trent,
I mean, that's still true.
Trent's really crap. Virgil van Dijk's finished. And who's the other one? You haven't even got another defender. You said Liverpool would have the worst defence. I love it. So funny. And then you raved about Benitez going to Everton. Yeah, you did say about Everton. You said they'd be up there challenging.
I mean, I say that every season, but I mean, I'm surprised that you finished out with Benitez, to be fair.
I said, would Leeds struggle? Second season syndrome. You both said, nah, they'll definitely be top 10.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, the one thing that they could have done without was getting Bamford injured. Because, I mean, he's not been... I mean, what has he played? Like 3 games this year or something?
He's not played at all, has he?
But they had no replacement. And Calvin Phillips was out. I was going to say Kevin Phillips then. Calvin Phillips was out for a bit as well. Yeah. They're actually 2 big players, really, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and they had a terrible disciplinary record as well. So.
They really did. To go down, our tips to go down, I think I win this, guys. Because I said Norwich would be rock bottom. And then the one I got wrong was Brighton. I tipped Brighton to go down.
Had a very good season, Brighton.
Watford. John Berry, you said the bottom 3 would be...
Let me guess. Burnley, Brentford and Watford.
That's what you said, yeah. You thought Brentford would be rock bottom. And you got Watford and Burnley in the correct place. So you get some points for that.
How did you not put Norwich in that bottom 3?
I've no idea.
He thought Brentford would struggle. He really did.
I must have put Norwich in that bottom 3, surely.
Michael, I left you to the end because your tips to get relegation were absolutely brilliant.
I remember this.
Who did you go for?
No, I thought I'd go and shoot. I went for Southampton or something, didn't I, as well?
You went for Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Southampton.
Yeah.
Did you, Ross?
I mean, that is just mental.
Wow.
I've had far too much by that point.
You must have done. I said Brentford would be like the Aston Villa of the season and would surprise people and finish mid-table. So I'm taking a point for that.
That's pretty
good. To be fair, I was on that one. I was only going on the fact that Nuno had left Wolves, and you know, possibility they could have been shit.
Yeah.
Hodgson at Palace had not done very well, and you didn't know what Vieira was going to be like. Vieira actually did very well.
Palace had sold pretty much their whole team, hadn't they?
You remember. And what was the other one I said? Southampton, was it?
Southampton. You said because Danny Ings had gone, where they're going to get goals and stuff like that.
And they have the ability to get an absolute thumping every now and again. I think that's all I was thinking.
I'm just paying for some stuff. Hang on just 1 second.
But if you think about the table in general, like there's not a massive gap between the bottom ones and like the top, towards the top, 9, 10, something like that. Because if look at Newcastle now, in the space of like no time,
they've just gone
Well,
on
they finished
what?
10th, I think, did they?
Yeah, 12-game unbeaten run and finished.
Yeah.
And they were really struggling.
Villa actually finished quite far down the table, which so it goes to show in the last few weeks how quickly it can change because everyone was so close together. Really, I mean, it was only really Norwich and Watford that was cut astray a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting. Like you've got to feel like Leeds definitely had a great escape because Burnley got a goal back, didn't they? And they just needed another goal just to draw.
Yeah, I know. And it could have been even more exciting. It could have been 3, but Everton had that great result midweek where 2-0 down and then pulling it back to 3-2.
3-2. Yeah,
I can't believe that result. You know, I thought that was typical Everton, and they just pulled back.
That showed a lot of spirit, which is, I mean, something that I don't think has been seen a lot by Everton. So that must have been encouraging for an Everton fan.
But then they got humped 5-1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but he rested Pickford wasn't playing, Richarlison wasn't playing on the bench.
Even then though, that's a pasting.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're pretty lucky that. I mean, they'll be good on them getting out of that because
they were already celebrated. I mean, their season was over basically, wasn't it?
It was.
So you can't look too much into that.
I just think for Everton in particular, just on that, Lampard needs to start well next season because I still think the jury's out on him, and I think he's done really well. But I mean, they sacked Benitez when they're in 16th place, 5 points off the bottom of the league, and they finished in 16th place, 4 points off the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's the great escape and he's turned them round.
Well, the thing is, the only thing that will be on his side is obviously he hasn't had a transfer window at all, so it will be very dependent on what he does in the summer. Because obviously that's exactly what happened at Chelsea. Like, you know, you got a bit of time, and then if it goes wrong, then...
Did Eddie Howe get a transfer window at Newcastle?
Yes. January.
Did he? Okay.
I mean, he's
done such a great job. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But the thing is, I was forgetting about because we were talking about Newcastle the other day. The last 6 months have been unbelievable for them. And they said, talking about the teams that have won at St James's Park since December, it was someone, I can't remember who it was, like Man City or something, and Cambridge United. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, remember that game? I remember watching it, Newcastle in the FA Cup home at Cambridge. And I was like, they've not won a game like all season. They must beat Cambridge. Do you know what I mean? They get beat off Cambridge as well. And I was thinking, Eddie Howe's going to get sacked after about 6 weeks as well.
That was near the beginning, wasn't it?
It was, you're right.
He'd only been charged for less than 2 months, but he hadn't been getting results and then got knocked out of the FA Cup. And I was like, but since then, who was the result against that they managed to turn it around? It might have been Everton, but they beat Everton at home. I think it was. And then from then on, they won about six or 7 games in a row at one point. It was unbelievable. And good on them. Because I just want to say about that, actually, like, it's not as if it's like, we had money to spend. It's not as if he's went out and bought Ronaldo and Messi and all that. He literally got some players, like, just to, like, kind of experience to shake up, like Dan Burn and Matt Target, like, who are not world beaters, but, like, he's like these kind of players, he's signed really, really well.
Yeah, he just knew and Trippier sort of galvanised the team until he got
injured.
Yeah, and then that Bruno guy they signed in midfield looks decent.
Yeah, but he's a decent player, but he wasn't like he didn't start the games up until 6-7 weeks ago.
It'd be very, very interesting to see what Newcastle do in a transfer window, put it that way.
It will, yeah.
I know, definitely.
Yeah, but what do we think about? Because I mean, Sean Dyche was sacked, wasn't he? Burnley. You know, there was that sort of after manager, not drop high of like them getting a few wins or whatever. But without Sean Dyche, you know, surely they look at it now and think you would want him for the championship, right? To get 100%. Back out quickly.
I still think
because now they could be gone for a while, maybe. Do you not think
they could slide down and down? Yeah.
Because surely the players that. A few of them they've got there will be picked out, not tons, but a few.
Yeah.
And then they've always got parachute payments, I suppose. But it's so competitive in that league below that, you know.
Definitely. And the thing is with Burnley, it's not as if it's like no disrespect. It's not as if players are dying to go and play for Burnley or live in the area. Like the reason they did so well, he got a team together, kind of group of local lads, and like, you know, Tarkowski and Ben Mee, they went famous players before Burnley. And like, you know, Matthew Loughton, Ashley Westwood, Josh Brownhill. It was all guys from the lower leagues.
They'll go now, won't they? All those, like you've just mentioned, Tarkovsky, me, like they'll be on their way, won't they?
Well, Nick Pope, you would have thought would
Nick
go,
Pope
right?
will probably go, yeah.
Because there'll be someone after a goalkeeper, and
but they've not spent a lot of money, Burnley. He had absolutely no budget for years. And the thing is, he got them in the Premier League, kept them there with a team. I mean, so we look at players now going, "Oh, they're good players," but it's like, are they really good players? You know, your Loutons, Westwoods, who's left back? Stephen Ward still there or whatever? Who's left back? Eric Peters and Josh Brownhill and that. Ashley Barnes. I mean, for that group of lads to be still in the Premier League safely for years is a great achievement. And they've had bad results before, Burnley, when they've been kind of bottom 3, 4, 5. And it's like, but they turn it around. So why this time? Why is he getting sacked this time? And putting the boy Jack Jackson in charge and Ben Mee, will put them in charge. They're going to keep in the Premier League, are they? Why would you think that? It's crazy.
There's got to be a different reason to why they got rid of Sean Dyche, I think. There has to be something more, because you're right. I mean, it's silly. It's a silly mistake. I mean, it's kind of proven.
Well, Sean Dyche was always like not coveted by other teams, but pundits would always be like, "Why are they not looking at this guy?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seems like a strange one, and they may come back. Who knows? Norwich seem to do it every year, so
yeah, they might go back. That's
the thing. Norwich and Watford,
yeah. Just very quickly on the Golden Boot, I take a point because I said Salah would get a Golden Boot. I didn't say he'd share it with Son, but he did. But
I'm pretty sure I would have gone balls to the wall and said Lukaku, which is
you went for Lukaku.
I went Ronaldo.
No. You went for Bruno Fernandes.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, mate. You just went Bruno Fernandes for the Golden Boot. John's so disgusted. He's left the building.
It's a great picture. It paused on again.
It's a great picture. You stopped on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Sort of.
Oh, this is what we'll use for the promo. It's fine.
I know. Yeah, the camera is. Look at it. It's so funny. It's proper slow mo.
Yeah. I tried to put it so it's just him.
I think I'll be sucking back on Grandpa's.
What?
Got off medicine.
Do you think he's on like 2% battery or something? What is he doing?
Nah, must be walking for a blind spot because he's just...
I just got his like smiling face.
I know, yeah. His tongue bugging out of his mouth.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is so funny.
Yeah. I think we're now behind.
Hey? He's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
That was only a matter of time.
It was.
I think that might have been the battery, but you never know.
Yeah, I found that quite funny in terms of like our prediction. I love a good predictions episode.
Oh yeah,
because you just don't know what the Premier League is. What's going to go on.
Well, yeah, it goes to show. I mean, Brentford did exceptional. Like Brighton did really well this year. I mean, loads of teams you wouldn't expect it, but done really well.
Did really well, but we didn't see City winning the. We all kind of said like second, third. Like we didn't see City kicking on because they didn't have a striker.
You know what happens during the predictions thing? There's always that wave of like hysteria after the summer, and you get new signings, and you just like to think that City will finally not be at the top, and like other teams will get a chance. But realistically, yeah,
exactly.
They're always going to be up there, aren't they?
What was quite interesting though, Michael? You said about Grealish.
I'm back now, by the way.
You're back.
Yeah.
So
finally.
You said, because we just had like the Euros or whatever, and you said Gareth Southgate sees something every day in training, and he still doesn't make his starting 11.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola sees something every day in training, and he still doesn't make his starting 11. So, do we think
I was right?
Grealish isn't as good as his price tag suggests.
I think the thing with Grealish, and what the reason I said that as well, is because obviously he's a very skillful player, but managers don't always want just a skillful player in there. You need a skillful player who's got like consistent end product, which he didn't really have, and a skillful player who's also going to be like part of a team and do a job for the team, which I don't think he always does. You know, he's not going to be a track back.
He was the main man for Villa. So
he's
do we think?
Man, I think he's one of those players that he suits being the only main man. I don't think he's he's not. He can't do it in a team of Galacticos because he's not the kind of he's not the main man. Do you know what I mean at Man City?
Well,
so
I mean, at the end of the day, he's a great player, but it's just like, is he going to get ahead of Mahrez and Silva and De Bruyne and Foden? And like, I just didn't ever see it. And Sterling.
I was going to say, do you think he was the biggest disappointment, like the biggest flop? But
no,
you got to say Lukaku was the biggest flop, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, you going to say Lukaku was the biggest flop for the season?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think the money's just ridiculous.
They won't even consider Grealish a flop. I don't think, even though really, you know, he's not done his amount. But yeah, it will be Lukaku. Lukaku started really well. It all went wrong when he had that fucking interview, and then he got injured straight after that.
Yeah,
and then just never happened again after that. But yeah, definitely. Other than that, I think Varane has been a pretty bad. I mean, I thought he would be a great signing for Man United. Yeah. That was one of the reasons I probably put him at the top. But I thought he's been pretty poor. I mean, Maguire gets a lot of the blame, and he does deserve it a lot of the time. Yeah. But even when he wasn't playing, you know, they never look right at the back, Man United, all season.
No.
I look forward to their transfer window and us having another predictions episode. So, you know, in a couple of months when we do a nice predictions episode, that'll be good. See what we think's going to happen.
Get it spectacularly wrong again.
Get spectacularly wrong. Just moving on to the weekend with the Champions League. So the last game of the season, Liverpool, Real Madrid. What's your feelings, guys? Give me some positivity. Do we think Liverpool are going to be crowned champions of Europe?
Yeah, I think they've got, unless certain players don't turn up. But I think if everyone's on form, I think we'll go and battle them. As long as they keep Benzema quiet, I think team like Diaz, Salah, Jota, Mane, will go and run rings around that defense. To be honest with you,
the thing is, the only problem I have is my prediction of the Man City game, because of Chelsea playing them quite often and playing them in the quarterfinal. I thought Man City would do that same thing to Real Madrid, which they did for a lot of it. But then they have got this case of winning. So, and City missed loads of chances. So I would say it is Liverpool's, as long as they take their chances.
Yeah.
Because if there's still a chance with like 20 minutes to go, you can never write Real Madrid off.
No.
Exactly. And just to end the podcast today, we have a little musical interlude from Alice.
I can't. Hey, Alice.
Hey,
Come
Alice.
on.
What are you doing?
Go on.
Are you playing the flute?
Little recorder.
No. Recorder. Come on. Bit of Frere Jacques. That's what you all learn at school.
Brother John. What was that?
Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond, yeah?
Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Or whatever it's called.
That's lovely, Alice.
We've got less than a minute. Okay. All right. There we go. Alice will play us out. And, well, I hope Liverpool win. I really do.
I know. Let's score predictions quickly. I'm going 4-1 Liverpool.
Nah.
What, I can't hear
I'm going to go
2-1 Liverpool.
3-2, so it's exciting.
Fair enough.
Girl power.
It'll probably go 0-0 penalties. Could be anyone's.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably what'll happen. Anyway, chaps.
Right,
Nice one.
catch
I
you
think
later.
I've been told to go end.
Yeah. See you
Enjoy your
later.
evening.
Take
See
it
you
easy,
later.
guys.
Yeah, you too.
See you
Bye,
later.
See ya.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.